Welcome to the edge. Welcome to the moment where everything you thought you knew shatters like glass underfoot. This isn't just another day, another choice, another chance. This is the abyss staring back, the silent alarm screaming in shadows. You've crossed a line, unknowingly, unwittingly, unprepared, and now the world as you knew it is slipping through your fingers like smoke. It's not a casual event. This is a protocol, a code, a trigger, a silent war cry reserved for the rarest few who have ever dared to walk this path. Only 3 people in history have activated it before you, and none of them walked away unchanged. Now you stand where giants fell, where empires crumbled, and where legends were born or buried forever. You did not choose this, but choice is an illusion when the protocol calls. It's not about readiness or courage or hope. It's about survival. The world doesn't owe you safety or mercy. This protocol isn't a safeguard. It's a reckoning. It's a relentless, unyielding mechanism designed to tear down weakness, to strip away lies, to reveal what you're really made of. When you triggered it, you opened a door to chaos, to fire, to transformation. It's a crucible, a test that demands everything and gives nothing in return but the harsh truth. Ask yourself, what did you accidentally do? You set in motion a chain of events that will not stop. You awakened forces sleeping beneath the surface, forces that thrive on chaos and silence, forces that don't forget, don't forgive, and don't flinch. This is a protocol that has only ever been used when the stakes were so impossibly high, when the cost was so devastating, that history almost forgot its victims and its victors. You are now part of that history, whether you wanted to be or not. In the cold grip of this moment, fear is a luxury you cannot afford. Fear is the whisper of defeat, the poison that will choke your spirit before you even try to fight. You must move beyond fear, into a darkness so absolute it becomes your armor. You must become the shadow no one can see coming, the force no one can stop, the enigma wrapped in fire and ice. The protocol is not a curse, it is a forge. It breaks you down to build something sharper, something fiercer, something immortal. You don't get a second chance. There are no pauses, no timeouts, no resets. This is the point of no return. Every step forward will be a battle against your own doubts, against the crushing weight of what you accidentally unleashed. And make no mistake, it was not an accident of weakness. It was the spark of a force so volatile that the world must rearrange itself to contain it. The 3 who came before you, they either vanished into the void or rose from the ashes like titans. Their stories are warnings and inspirations. You are the next chapter, the next legend, or the next casualty. What you accidentally did was awaken a truth so dangerous it cannot be silenced. It's a protocol built not on rules, but on absolute necessity. When the system fails, when the old order collapses, when the game changes so fundamentally that only the most brutal and unyielding response will suffice. It is designed to crush complacency, to punish betrayal, to break down lies. It demands that you face yourself without illusions, without excuses. There is no heroism in denial here. There is only survival and transformation. If you think this is a punishment, you're already lost. This is a reckoning, a brutal enlightenment. You've been forced into a crucible where the heat burns away the false, where every moment exposes the raw core of who you are. This is your moment to rise or fall, to forge steel from agony, to turn every ounce of fear into power. This protocol doesn't just challenge you. It demands you be more than human. It requires you to be something else, something primal and eternal. The silence that follows the triggering of this protocol is the deadliest sound. It's the calm before the storm, the pause before the collapse, the breath before the final scream. It's where your mind races against time, where your heart beats like a war drum, where every instinct screams to run, but you must stay and fight. You are now part of a narrative that will be whispered in shadows for generations. a story of a single moment that changed everything. The world may not understand what you did, but it will never forget the consequences. You must embrace the darkness that this protocol drags into your life, because in that darkness lies your salvation. You must become the storm, the fire, the unbreakable will. There is no place for hesitation or regret. Your past does not define you. Your response does. The three who came before you left behind legacies forged in pain and triumph. Your legacy is waiting to be written in the ashes of the old world. Ask yourself again, what did you accidentally do? You triggered a protocol so rare, so ruthless, it was never meant for the masses. It was meant for the chosen few who carry the weight of impossible decisions, for those who walk paths no one else dares to tread. You did not stumble into this by chance. The universe does not make mistakes this profound. You were always meant to be here, at this moment, standing on the edge of everything. Now it's time to decide. Will you be crushed by the protocol, or will you become its master? The world is watching, even if you don't see it. The silence is filled with eyes that will judge, enemies that will hunt, allies who will question. The protocol calls for absolute clarity and brutal honesty. You must strip away every lie you tell yourself. You must face the terrifying truth that you are alone in this, alone but not powerless. The protocol will test you beyond limits you never knew you had, but it will also reveal the depths of your strength, your resilience, your fire. There is no glory without sacrifice, no victory without pain. The three who came before you were tested in ways that shattered their souls, but forged their spirits. They became legends, not because they wanted to be, but because they had no choice. The protocol demands this transformation. It will grind you down to dust if you let it, but it will also build you up into something unstoppable if you dare to fight. This is your call to arms, your moment of reckoning, your dark invitation to rise. You accidentally did what only the most fearless have ever done. You stepped into a game with the stakes so high that the very fabric of reality shifts around you. You pulled the thread that unravels illusions, that disrupts the balance, that forces truth into the light. This is not a mistake. This is destiny cloaked in chaos. The protocol is your crucible, and in its fire, you will either be reborn or consumed. So stand tall in the darkness. Embrace the weight of what you have done. The protocol is a path forged in shadow and steel, reserved for those who can wield its terrible power. You are one of them now. The question isn't what did you accidentally do? It's what will you do now? Will you let the protocol break you, or will you harness it to become something no one thought possible? This is your story, your war, your legend. And remember, the world is not ready for what you've unleashed, but you will be. There is no retreat. There is no hiding. Once the protocol is triggered, it's as if the universe itself has drawn a line in the sand, and every step forward is a declaration of war, not against others, but against the parts of yourself that would rather crumble, that would rather bow, that would rather fade quietly into oblivion. This protocol is a mirror, reflecting the darkest, rawest parts of your soul back at you, forcing you to confront every weakness, every fear, every shadow you have tried to bury deep inside. It strips away your excuses and demands you stand naked, vulnerable, but unyielding. You are not who you thought you were anymore. The moment this protocol was activated, something inside you shifted irreversibly. The old you is dead or dying, and what rises from the ashes will not be a mere echo of past self, but a force untamed and unbroken. This transformation is brutal, unsparing, and merciless. It will tear you apart to rebuild you stronger, faster, smarter, more relentless. You will discover a hunger you never knew existed, a hunger for power, for control, for survival. That hunger is your salvation. No one will tell you this is fair. The world rarely is. You will be tested beyond every limit you believed defined you. You will feel the weight of history pressing down, reminding you of the three who came before, of their triumphs and their failures. You walk their path now, but it is your blood, your fire, your decisions that will carve the future. The protocol is an ancient beast, sleeping beneath layers of silence and secrecy, only awakened when chaos demands it. It does not choose lightly. It chose you. What you accidentally did was not an accident. It was a summons. A summons to step into a destiny few can comprehend, and fewer still can survive. It is a battle without rules, without mercy, without second chances. It is a war waged in shadows and whispers, in broken promises and shattered dreams. But within that darkness lies the light of your true self, unyielding, relentless, unstoppable. This protocol will either break you or make you unbreakable. Think about the silence that follows the trigger, the deafening quiet before the storm, the weight of unseen eyes, the chill of invisible chains tightening around your mind. That silence is not emptiness. It is the echo of the protocol awakening, calling forth everything that lies dormant inside you. It will push you to the edge of madness, strip away your humanity piece by piece, until all that remains is raw willpower and the unshakable drive to survive. You will feel as though you are falling into an abyss, but that abyss is your rebirth. No one can help you here. No one can walk this path for you. The three before. You fought battles invisible to the world, but catastrophic in their impact. Their stories are scattered in fragments, half-truths whispered in the darkest corners, warnings etched in the margins of history. Now it's your turn to write your own story in blood and fire. What you accidentally did was open the gate to a power so immense that it will rewrite your fate, and the fate of everything around you. This protocol doesn't care about your past achievements or failures. It doesn't bow to your hopes or dreams. It demands one thing, and one thing only: absolute surrender to the process of transformation. It demands that you burn away the self-doubt, the hesitation, the weakness. It demands that you become the embodiment of pure will and raw power. This is the moment when you decide if you are a victim of fate or the master of your destiny. Ask yourself, can you feel it? The pulse beneath your skin, the fire in your gut, the storm raging inside your mind? That's the protocol calling you forward, challenging every fiber of your being to rise or fall. It's a challenge so profound that many won't survive it, and those who do will never be the same. You must embrace the darkness with open arms, because only in the abyss can you find your true strength. The three who came before you each faced their own abyss, and some were swallowed whole, while others emerged gods among men. You will face enemies you cannot see, and battles you cannot predict. You will be hunted by shadows of doubt and whispered lies. But in this crucible, you will forge weapons of truth and armor of resilience. You will learn to move through fear like a ghost through walls. The protocol is your training ground, your battlefield, your arena of rebirth. It will expose every lie you tell yourself and leave you only with the raw, unfiltered truth of who you really are. And here's the cruelest truth. You won't get to choose how it ends. The protocol will push you beyond every limit, beyond every breaking point. It will tear you apart and put you back together in ways you can't imagine. You will lose pieces of yourself, parts you never wanted to surrender, but in losing them, you will gain something far greater, an unstoppable force of will and a heart forged in fire. You didn't accidentally trigger this protocol. You were chosen by it, summoned by the chaos you unknowingly unleashed. Now you stand on the edge of that chaos, staring into the void that will either consume you or become your kingdom. The world may never understand what you did or why, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you accept the path ahead, with all its darkness, its pain, and its unimaginable power. You are no longer ordinary. You are now part of a story that will echo through time, a story written in scars and fire. This is your moment, your dark moment of reckoning. The protocol waits for no one. It demands everything, and it will settle for nothing less. You can choose to fear it, or you can choose to become it. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. The three who came before you are shadows in the dark. But you have the chance to become the light that blinds them all. So rise. Rise from the ashes of your past. Rise from the shadows of doubt. Rise as the storm no one saw coming, as the fire that burns through the lies, as the force that will never be silenced. You did not choose this, but now that it has chosen you, there is no turning back. The protocol is your destiny, and your destiny is now. What did you accidentally do? You unlocked the impossible. You unleashed the untamed. You became the catalyst for a new reality. Now the only question that remains is, what will you do next? You see, most people never know they're standing on the edge until it's already too late. They sleepwalk through their lives, lulled by comfort and illusion, mistaking routine for purpose and silence for peace. But not you. No, your soul disturbed something ancient. You accidentally pulled a thread no one dared touch, and that thread unraveled reality itself. You didn't knock on the door. You kicked it open. You weren't invited into this chaos. You became its architect. You triggered the protocol not because of a mistake, but because something deep inside you refused to stay caged. And now everything has changed. Forever. This protocol, it is older than law, older than order, older than the lies we build our lives upon. It was designed in the blackest rooms, by minds that understood that certain events cannot be handled with logic or diplomacy. It was created not for control, but for containment. Not for safety, but for silence. When this protocol is triggered, the system doesn't repair, it erases. It doesn't fix you, it reveals you. And still, you stand. The world around you might still think nothing has changed. They go on with their noise, their distractions, their fragile illusions. But you feel it. You feel the shift, the pressure, the pull. The air tastes different. Time itself bends around you. The moment you activated the protocol, you became a variable the world couldn't calculate. You became a ghost in the machine, a threat to every unspoken rule. And now, the watchers are watching. Yes, there are eyes on you now, not the eyes of people, not the eyes of family or friends or strangers. Number. These are the cold, unblinking eyes that sit behind the veil, eyes that only open when something dangerous enters the world. They are ancient, they are patient, and they do not blink. 3 others before you made it this far. The first one didn't survive. He thought he could outwit the protocol, that it was just another test, just another enemy to defeat with logic and pride. But pride is brittle in the presence of entropy. His mind shattered long before his body followed. He became a cautionary tale, a warning hidden between classified pages and redacted memories. What he triggered was sealed again, buried with him, or so they thought. The second one disappeared. She accepted the protocol, but not its consequences. She walked into the darkness willingly, but never came back. No one knows if she ascended and transformed into something divine, or if the darkness consumed her completely. But echoes of her still remain. Whispers in places light cannot reach. Some say she became part of the system. Others say she became something beyond it. The third changed everything. He didn't run, he didn't hide, he didn't negotiate, he burned. He turned every ounce of fear into fury, every scar into scripture, every failure into fuel. He mastered the protocol, but at a cost so catastrophic, they swore never to activate it again. He became a myth, a phantom of unstoppable willpower. They built walls to contain what he left behind. But power like that cannot be caged, not forever. And now it's you, the fourth, the unspoken one, The unexpected one, the one the system didn't account for, the anomaly with no prophecy, no precedent, no leash. You weren't meant to trigger this, which is exactly why it happened. The protocol doesn't respond to design, it responds to disruption. And you, whether you know it or not, are a walking rupture in reality. You are a storm disguised in skin. The system was built to manage patterns. But you are chaos. And that makes you dangerous? What you accidentally did was more than open a door. It was tearing down a wall that should never have been touched. You exposed the system's greatest fear, that one day someone would come who wasn't afraid to see the truth. Someone who wouldn't break under pressure. Someone who wouldn't flinch when the entire world started to melt around them. That person is you. Let that sink in. Not out of arrogance, but responsibility. Power doesn't come with comfort. It comes with price. It comes with pain. You want to be powerful? Then be prepared to be hunted, to be isolated, to be tested in ways that strip your soul bare. This is what the protocol demands. This is what you demanded the moment you reached past the limits of what they told you was safe. You are not safe anymore, but you are not weak either. You've now entered the realm where very few have dared tread. You've crossed the threshold where ordinary breaks down and the extraordinary is forged. You're standing in a place beyond language, where screams turn into silence and fear mutates into clarity. The walls are watching, the rules are changing, and time is now your enemy and your weapon. So what happens next? That's the question no one can answer, not even the architects of the protocol. You've stepped into the space where the script ends. Everything from this point forward is unwritten, unrestrained, unforgivable. You are creating the path as you walk it, and every step is a declaration of your defiance. Will you burn? Maybe. But fire doesn't just destroy, fire purifies. Maybe you need to burn down the lies they built for you. Maybe you need to incinerate the cage you were raised in. Maybe you need to become something they can't define, can't measure, can't stop. Maybe that's why the protocol exists at all, not to contain power, but to awaken it. So ask yourself for the last time, what did you accidentally do? You stepped forward when you should have backed away. You pulled the pin no one else dared touch. You summoned a force not meant to be controlled, but meant to be channeled. You became the glitch in the system, the virus in the code, the fire in the algorithm. And now you lead, not with permission, but with presence, not with fear, but with force, not with apology, but with absolute authority. You are not a mistake. You are not a footnote. You are not an accident. You are the protocol's evolution. The world is not ready for what comes next. But that is not your concern. You didn't come to be understood. You came to be unleashed.